Hey, this really makes this glass makes my hand look huge, doesn't it?
Well, there we have it.
It's a tiny little Glencairn.
Hey, did you get that from John?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Because
No, this was something my wife picked up.
Oh, he picks up these like midget ones from down at Don's place down in Fairview. No, I shouldn't say midget. I don't know if that's an appropriate term anymore. But anyhow, hey, listen, guys, this is the Whiskey Rebellion Barcast. We're on tonight, and we've got a fantastic topic. And I got to give you the backstory on it. So most of you guys know I work in the field of academia, and I receive countless emails and have to watch kind of how I say it, but some of them are just silly. So, for example, I received an email on Friday where I had provided a narrative or instructions, so whatever, and the person responded back with essentially saying, after I got through all your pleonasms, is this what you're asking for? And I'm like, what? Like, just because I had to restate something, I don't think you know what the term pleonasm is. And so I was thinking about it, and we'll discuss that here momentarily, because essentially a pleonasm is nothing more than I nodded my head. I shrugged my shoulders. You can't nod your stomach or your knees. You can't shrug your ears or whatever. I guess you could. Nope, that would be twinkle, wouldn't it? I don't know what you would do. So wiggle, yeah. But is it a shrug? Is it?
Mark's got it right now.
Can you make him go up there, Spock? But anyway, so I got thinking about it, and I was like, after getting through all that dumb fuckery that this person had said, and truly making that person sound like they're like, it has bothered me. And I was sitting there, I was going, wow, we have some $50 words vocabulary with a $5 education. People out there like, I learned something in class today, so now I got to use that word all the time because I got to expand my vocabulary. All right. Well, anyway, so I don't really think that's what it is, but it ties to us. So it made me expand my thought process on it. And I was like, pleonasms are actually used all the time in the bourbon world. For example, bourbon whiskey. I bet all of us can find a bottle right now within 2 seconds that says bourbon whiskey on it. Guess what? You don't have to overemphasize it. Bourbon is whiskey. Now, whiskey may not always be bourbon, but all bourbons are whiskeys. But anyway, guys, with all that nonsense and craziness that I had to spout, and I guess I got off my rant.
Got it out your system.
Yeah, I stepped on all 2 inches of my soapbox. Because if I were to stand on it, you wouldn't know because I'm that short. But anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. What's everybody drinking?
Oh, God. Oh, jeez.
By the way, my glass looks stellar in my hand.
Yeah, I think all this to say, maybe Chuck just needs a bigger glass.
Or Chuck is really, the Godfather's really Triple H, and he's doubling as Chuck.
Yes, I have huge hands.
You know what they say about that?
At least you're not the Burger King guy.
That's what I hear anyway.
Big gloves. I don't know. Need a bigger glass. That's what I think.
They can do a hell of a choke slam in WWE's WrestleMania.
Huge hands,
Yeah.
shorter horses.
What was that? Degeneration X?
Generation X, yeah.
See, he remembers. He was there.
Hey, I did bring some water with me as well.
We got to do a comparative.
That also looks tiny in your hand. Yeah,
I was gonna
hold your hand into a dollar
say,
bill, so we all have a frame of reference.
Water bottle.
Yeah, we'll save that for a different
It's one of those
show,
little
though.
ones, right, for the kids.
With those little, those little ones that are like this tall.
Yeah. I thought we got that baby going Karen, also for children.
The bigger your hands, the smaller your horses. Huh?
Oh.
Anyway, so guys, obviously we start straight into shenanigans all the time. But hey, what is everybody drinking?
Well, I first welcome everybody. Sorry, it's a couple of seconds late. My favorite chef is Rob, of course, and it's his fault that my Statesman, Old Forester, is halfway empty. It's a good thing I got a goddamn backup. It's a goddamn fault, because ever since I seen him with it, I was like, what in the actual hell?
Okay.
It's good stuff though, right?
I'll try
Oh,
that one
it is
first.
amazing.
I need to
I've
get
already
one of
tried
these.
mine,
Stuff.
so I know what
I
it
love
tastes
it.
like.
It's
I
great stuff.
do love that. I do
I'm
love
gonna
that
open it.
statesman.
Yeah.
And the movie.
Even though I'm not the biggest
Yeah.
biggest Old Forester fan, but the statesman I do love. Yeah.
Nice.
I've had my bottle for months and I've got about the same left as you, Billy.
Yeah. I'm just glad I got a backup of it because otherwise
Yeah.
I'd be in trouble.
I haven't. That's why.
And hey, Billy, thanks again for the delivery. They came in the mail for me. I guess it was yesterday in the car. That was very thoughtful. So definitely appreciate that.
You're welcome,
Got to
brother.
do a mail call, man.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to that rub, especially. What
Absolutely.
Oh,
do you have particular preferences for things to use that rub with?
I already asked him.
Okay, but I would.
Well, maybe our fans
He
would
might
like
get
to
an
know.
answer.
That's right.
Yeah,
Both of
maybe
them.
maybe our fans would want to know.
Well,
This is-
I would definitely say I did enough research and development with it. It goes really good. I blended it so it's just above mild. So
Mhm.
you can use it on chicken, you can use it on
Like that.
pork, you can use it on beef. The fish rub is actually different
Mhm.
because you're going to be using it on something a little milder. So I dialed it down a little bit, but
Okay.
anything you want to put it on, it works great. You know, and you can have fun with it, you know, and I actually sent you the large size. That way you can really go in on it. You know, if you like fish, you can use it on fish.
Mhm.
It will overpower a very light fish. So if you use something like if you do it on like a red snapper or a bass, you'll be okay. But not that I even condone it. But if you use something like tilapia, it'll ruin tilapia.
You might beat it up a little bit. Gotcha.
I think tilapia is garbage anyway. You know, people don't really understand I don't think anybody really knows what tilapia is because it's, you know.
I try not to think about it honestly, but I do
Yeah.
tend to enjoy tilapia.
So
We
yeah,
always call it poor
I'm not
man's
super particular.
flounder.
yeah, exactly. I would even say,
Fish.
like, if you wanted to put it on some cod before you deep fried it, it would be nice because I think cod has a little
Cod,
bit more
okay.
of a strength to hold it.
Mhm.
But like I said, I don't even recommend tilapia. I think it's absolute garbage. I would never serve it to somebody.
on a nice thick steak of like a black cod.
Yeah,
Nice thick one. Just
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Cool, man.
I'm
Appreciate the
hungry.
tip.
All right. So what's everybody else drinking? You want me to go first?
Go ahead, Joey.
All right. So my buddy White Mark over here provided me with, he went to the Castle and King distillery, brought back a thing of slow hands.
Oh,
Nice.
I've heard good
And
things.
let me tell you what, off the nose, you can definitely pick up the fruits and stuff. It's under 4 years. It's 3.5 year barreled rye, straight rye whiskey. Baby, don't touch my helmet. Apparently I have those moments every now and then. But anyway, a straight rye whiskey. And so it has those citrus type smelling notes that you get initially on the nose. That you would get from a younger type, but as soon as you take it in, it says it's been cast in spicy something, the spicy side cast, and it bites, but it's a nice bite. It's a very much like a remember those cinnamon jawbreakers that you had back in the day? It's like having one of those sitting on your palate for a good couple minutes as it disperses, and then as it disperses, you can pick up definitely the high rye content and the maybe a little bit of wheat, but there's definitely something grainy about it on the finish end. Very good, like it, very appreciative. Thank you. By
You're
the way,
welcome, man. I've enjoyed it.
Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I need one of those. Excuse me.
well, he had to make a field trip up there twice, and so they're limited.
No, three times.
I read about it. One person, one bottle per day.
Yeah.
I saw.
Well, no, it was. So Friday and Saturday is the only day that they're open during the week. And they put out a notice on Instagram that they were going to release limited release of their single barrel, which is what this is. It's a single barrel slow hands release until it was gone. So you had 3 weekends to make it there. The first 2 weekends, and you had to have a reservation in order to get a ticket to go to the gift shop in order to get your bottle. So if you just showed up and you didn't have a reservation, you didn't get a ticket, you could go on site. But first 2 Saturdays, I made reservations. And on the way there, I got an email from Castle and Key saying that they'd sold out. Turned around, came home. So the second time, as soon as I got the email, I went back on the site, went to the next weekend, got the first Friday appointment that I could. And I made my wife go with me so that I could get 2 bottles. So I got one for me, got one for Jody, and we ended up lucking out. They only had like 20
Nice.
tickets left when I got in line, and that was like 11 o'clock. So
Anyway,
How many bottles in
it's
the run? Do you know?
say that again.
Do you know how many bottles were in the run?
I want to say it was something around, I don't know.
Well, this is
100 and
This is bottle 71, but it doesn't say how out of how many, but it's barrel
How many,
281.
It's just where you're saying that they're gonna do it until it's gone. I was just wondering how many until it's gone, kind of thing, because that's
It's probably something under
Yeah.
200 bottles, maybe.
that's
I
what
like
I
the
would
way
think.
they-
Yeah.
170 to 180, 190 bottles, depending on how much
Yeah.
came out in the Angels share.
But I like the way "do it till it's gone" sounds. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It is really, really good. What I can do though is for all the local people here, I can definitely send samples to everybody.
Mhm.
And I mean, I can try to send it to Mal when I send the license
Almost
plates.
everybody. The heavy sigh.
It's all right, it's all right.
My dog does that too when he's terribly upset and when his little brother takes his bone from him. He's scared of him, and so he does the whole pouting thing. He's like, and then he'll start doing the whole husky like whining and talking and stuff, and it's like
Oh,
he's
good
sitting
stuff.
right there, isn't he? The white
Oh,
one.
Right over
Billy,
here.
Yeah.
Billy, I gotta send you a video of a husky, man. It was the funniest thing. It was a woman delivering
Oh,
packages.
you said it was a husky.
Yeah. Well, she was scared of the husky. That was a good one. When you see the video, revisit that comment. But
On it.
I gotta find it. I'll shoot it to you, brother. Oh man.
Yeah, if you do, I'll try to
I'm
add
worried now.
it to the show, and that way everyone can see it.
Yeah, I don't know who's more afraid of each other. If she's more afraid of the husky or if he's more afraid of her.
Listen, and before we continue, I almost forgot. I want to give a special shout out to my guy Rob and Mark for allowing me to use their image on the website. You guys are officially on it. You're given credit with your name and everything, and I appreciate it. It also made me think 2 things. I'm going to put another category on the website called fan mail. So whenever I get pictures, I'm going to post them there. And also, I want to find a way to tie together Cafe 305 and a Whiskey Rebellion. So wherever I pipe up, I want the name and what we're doing to pop up along with it. I feel that good about this group of guys, and I promise I won't do anything to misrepresent your image. I know everybody's
Our
image is important to them,
Our
but no, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
That's why I asked. I didn't just throw it up there. I mean, because that whole thing can get real sticky sometimes, So I do appreciate that, fellas. I really do.
cool deal. Rob, what do you have in the drink tonight?
So tonight I was driving home yesterday morning and stopped at a place in Ohio called Chalet Premier. It's right on the border of Ohio and PA. Looking for something new, and I found some Davies County.
Oh, okay.
They had all 3 expressions. They had the regular bourbon, they had the Cabernet cask bourbon, and this is the French oak is the one that I picked. And just getting ready to try it here for the first time. So everything I've read about it, and there's no age statement on it, but it's a
Nice color.
Yes, it's got a nice amber color to it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going. It's in that 4-year range.
Mhm.
Wow.
Sorry, we were dealing with some straight up dumb fuckery over here. So I do
Dumb
apologize.
shittery.
Nice. It's got you definitely pick up that oak from it, but it's not a heavy oak. It's a more subtle. Lots of citrus on the nose. Citrus when you on that first sip. picking up some vanilla, the caramels, that's all there. Medium finish. Really enjoying it. This is nice. Jody, you may not enjoy it as much. I've read some things where people are saying it has a bit of a Scotch
vibe
overtone to it.
Mhm.
David would probably enjoy it a lot because I know he's into the Scotch thing.
Right.
But it's really nice. It's got a nice round flavor. It's finishing a little round, so I'm enjoying it.
Very cool. All right.
I like Scotch whiskey.
Going back to the
the Pleonasm. Yeah.
Oh, David, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you're drinking tonight?
I'm drinking the Maker's 101. Is a very nice one. I've had it on the show before. Several, I think probably everyone here's actually had it at this point. So I won't belabor that point. I did notice that the Pleonasm is on this bottle as well. It does say bourbon, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, spelled with the KY instead of EY. Which
I looked right
weird
over
marketing
immediately,
thing that we talked
and
about.
it said it right there on this bottle. I just looked over at the very first bottle I saved. Yeah, and it says Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, Pleonasm. You don't have to tell me that. I already know it.
I think maybe, and just kind of conjecture or spitballing about it, like that this is just a marketing thing. The more like
Puffery.
Marketing buzzwords,
Puffery.
Puffery that you can slap on there. Like, oh well, maybe I don't like whiskey, I like bourbon, because someone doesn't honestly understand the difference. Guess what? They still want to sell you the bottle, right? So why not put them both on there? What's it going to hurt?
And they put Kentucky on there too.
Somebody who doesn't like whiskey. Somebody who doesn't like whiskey will see whiskey on the bottle and not buy it. Surely they should just cut it down to bourbon.
Right? Yeah. Who knows? But
Anyhow,
but that was the thought I had about it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Godfather, what we got up there?
Tonight I'm drinking the Yamazaki 12,
Mhm.
Oh wow.
Nice.
2014.
You'll have to give us some notes on that, because
Yeah,
that
for sure.
sounds. I actually really love Japanese whiskey. I have some.
Well, it's got a really fruity nose to it.
You've got the talkie, Jody, haven't you? Sorry.
Like a
Sorry.
buttery
Yes, I do.
fruit graham cracker. Little bit of
you say it has a graham cracker
yeah,
nosing?
yeah, like
like
a
that.
cinnamon.
Like a cinnamon biscuity kind of.
Yes, a
Almost
little honey
cinnamon.
to it.
Is it
I'm
like
sorry.
is it American biscuit, or is it like you guys' biscuits?
It'll be our biscuit. Yeah, sorry.
So a cookie, so a cinnamon cookie.
Well, yeah.
Now would that be a scone or a biscuit?
Biscuits.
That's great.
No. A cookie, Billy. A cookie. For the sake of this
Is it
conversation.
a wafer? More like a wafer?
A wafer. Yes.
It's a wafer scene.
Anyway, back to the Godfather.
Love the reference, Mal.
Sorry, Chuck. Go on. Yeah. Cheers, dude. Sorry, Chuck.
Oh, no worries. It's got a buttery citrus, like an orange peel note to it. Little pepper. And then it has this, I don't know if anybody's familiar with this candy, but it's the orange circus peanuts
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh,
right at the end
wow.
Okay.
Okay.
with a little bit of honey as well.
Okay.
But I do like it. It's very
Interesting.
good.
Okay.
The finish is medium, little nutty, but I still have that circus peanut taste to it.
That's
But
a
I do
crazy
like it. It's
tasting
pretty
nut.
good.
Yeah, it is. I like that though.
Now, Chuck, let me ask you, just on ballpark, what's the price point on that?
On this one, I picked it up in Japan and it was
Never mind.
36 US dollars.
Okay, so
Minus
it's not too
the
bad.
plane ticket,
So cheap over there, yeah.
$3,472.
At the time it was, well, actually at
Plus
the
36.
time that plane ticket was $8,000.
Oh my God.
That's because he was flying first class for the WWE.
That's right.
Well done,
And
sir.
That's correct, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is what we call a flex.
That's before Vince bought the jet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were
That,
you
well, that was
in
before.
the
That was before he
WWE?
married Stephanie. It's actually a funny story. He alleges, I don't know if I buy this, but he alleges, I believe the story, but he alleges he's truly not Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H. He alleges this.
Okay.
All right. None of us have ever seen his wife, which I am sure is Stephanie McMahon. He lives up in the I said New England area, and he goes, I live in Maryland. I'm like,
Maryland.
Mid-Atlantic.
close.
But you know, my wife is 6'3".
Oh,
Seriously.
So is Stephanie McMahon. She's like a giant
Uh-huh.
woman too.
Sure she is.
Well, we've never seen
She
you both.
is.
We've never seen you both in the same room at the same time. So until that happens, sorry, Chuck.
But anyway,
Sorry, dude.
he was coming back from Japan, if I'm saying this right, and so he had some people that were trying to take selfies and stuff with
Oh,
him
yeah.
and sign autographs, and it took him a moment, and then he realized what it was is they all thought he was Triple H, like we all do.
I was basically going from Chicago to, or no, actually it was Baltimore to Chicago, and basically going from Chicago to Japan. But on my way from Baltimore to Chicago, somebody had a selfie stick and they pointed it, and they reached over my seat, and it was like right here in front of me.
That's rude.
Captain
So
Obvious.
he was videotaping me, thinking I was Triple H. So I turned around and I started
I like how
laughing
he
right
says
away.
thinking that I was.
Of course. And, you know, I turn around and I'm laughing because I know it happens all the time. And he's,
and then
you
you
know, starts
pedigree
with
them.
this Triple H thing going on.
And so what did Stephanie do when she was sitting beside you?
You had the goatee at that point too, didn't you?
Yeah, and that's
Well,
the other thing.
I had
Yeah,
all
we
that
sold
stuff
it.
going.
That's what
Man, sure.
that's what got you is the people going the hair, the goatee, like, damn, that's H, man.
That's it.
And of course, I always wore, at the time, I always wore Maui Jim glasses, the real thin glasses. And that sort of helped as well. Not that I was trying to make that happen, of course.
Listen, being the height you are in Japan, you must have really intimidated people where everybody's 5'3".
Godzilla.
How tall are you, Chuck?
Don't do it in
6'3".
the accent. Don't do it in the accent.
Yeah, what I'm saying, you're 6'3".
No, no, I wouldn't do that, David.
Everybody else over there is
He wasn't
5'3".
talking to you, David.
Yeah, I was talking to Jody. I was like, if anyone we gotta worry about, it's gonna be Jody.
Oh, Godzilla!
Oh, you
Oh, here we go.
too late.
gosh.
Oh man.
And the shenanigans continue.
Been great doing the show with you guys.
Yeah.
On that note,
And we're kind of like a Mel Brooks production. We pick on everybody equally. Like equal. We're like the EOC.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's the reason why we started the show with some jackass writing me an email that said Pleonasm on it. I'm like, come on. Really?
Well, Jody, let's not forget that last picture you posted on Instagram. Listen, I now know what sexy is.
I'm glad you do. It is a sexy picture. Was it the gun that turned you on the most, or was it my eyes?
No, it was definitely the eyes, that manly beard of yours. I mean, just my poor
Over the
heart.
top. Over the top.
Yeah.
Bill.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. It was a sexy picture. I agree.
Mark's vibing right now. Make it stop.
Mark's like, Hercules. All right, so Mao,
Yeah.
what are we having tonight?
Nice man come over with some flowers. Some nice champagne.
We's having some Woodford. I've just gone for standard Woodford. At the minute, I opened this bottle last night
Yeah.
because
There you go.
See,
Nice work,
I try
sir.
to tell us all to drink responsibly, and you're like, "Yeah, I opened this bottle last night, and there's like one drink left."
Well, he didn't go anywhere, right? So that's
well, exactly, yeah. And it was Saturday night, dude. Come on, I had to put up with Saturday night TV in the house.
What time does night
no,
start for you? That's
I've kind
the
of
question.
Nice.
Well, PM usually denotes night.
PM starts night.
So at lunch.
So at lunch, he opened the bottle of Woodford.
Yeah.
12:01.
We're officially at
that's a bit
nighttime. So
That's
all
a
of
bit
it.
late,
So
David.
you just instead of like when you start an email, instead of going from good morning to good afternoon, you go straight from good morning to good evening. At 12:01.
And I'm signing off.
You
Good night.
Invited to Prince Philip's ceremony, burial, and
No,
funeral and fun
no, I
stuff?
didn't. No, I was not one of the 30 family members that attended the royal funeral, dude. No. I have an opinion, but I mean, yeah, it's not no.
You probably have the same opinion I do. I'm like, why are all these people like? I mean, don't get me wrong. I always think it's bad when somebody dies. However, at 99, if I make it to 99 and then all of a sudden I die, don't anybody be sad. Like that's a damn good run. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, make
Good
it,
innings.
make it.
Good innings, as we say. Yeah.
But my thing here in the United States is, why do we care? Like, we fought to get rid of those guys. And we did a fabulous job, as we talked to Mao about all the time. We've had to come save their ass numerous other times. And so, you know, otherwise I'll be speaking German, but twice. But my point being is that why does anybody in the United States care? I mean, I think it's great in the pomp and circumstance, whatever. Go to a commencement once. Go to it 5 times and then ask yourself, do I want to watch pomp and circumstance anymore? The answer is always going to be no. Like now when the only reason why I'm going to my commencement for my doctorate, which is next month, I think sometime, is because my mom wanted to go. And I'm like, this is ridiculous, Mom. I've been to so many commencements. They're going to sit and talk forever. I don't want to listen to people talk. I don't even care what they got to say. Like, it's stupid.
Take a flask.
Oh, you think I don't have a flask to take? It's right here.
That's my guy.
Yeah, you damn right I'll have a flask. It'll be in my back pocket.
And you listen, I'm not into that royal stuff and everything. I thought it was some cool details to the whole ceremony, like the fact that he didn't want a big fuss. And I'm not gonna lie, that Range Rover was badass. I understand what he paid for, but listen.
Save me on that point on a Range Rover. I gotta tell you about this one in a minute. Go ahead.
I thought that Range Rover was badass, and the fact that he felt like that's what he wanted, he set himself differently from everybody else. Like I think a part of, like I'm not even to end it, but a part of him seems like he didn't really care about all that royalty shit. It was just listen.
He didn't want to fuss. Yeah, no, you're right. And it's kind of happened. Right, yeah.
No, at 99, if I were to make it to 99 and someone wants to stick a bottle rocket up my ass and fire it off after I go, I'm okay with that. That's like a good way to go, you know? As long as the end result is me becoming Ash, I don't care, you know? Like 99, like you lived a long time. Like I don't think he went, man, I wish I could make it 2 more breaths. I don't think he said that. I think he probably went like this.
Still here.
I'm good.
I don't think he even said good night. I think he just like, I'm tired of listening to whoever's talking to me.
Peace out, baby.
Yeah. So, and back to the Land Rover. I seen one the other day that, I swear to God, if it wasn't at a buy here, pay here type of mart place, I would have drove in there and bought that thing. It was camouflage with real tree camouflage on it. And I was like, my son would hate it. And I would love it so much because he's so much into image.
What rapper owned that?
I don't know, but you know, somebody in Nashville that was a rapper.
Soulja Boy.
Yeah. Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy.
That's P6 territory.
I was hoping it Lil Wayne, but you know, I actually like Lil Wayne. I like the whole, what was it called? Crunk?
You're saying it wrong. You're putting the TT in the middle of that.
No, I said little.
It's Lil.
I only have so much gangster. Right? At the end of the day, I'm still very, very, very Caucasian.
That we both are, apparently.
Yeah, because you're white mark.
I'm white mark.
Yeah.
So yeah, I opened that Woodford last night, and I was really enjoying it. It's the first bottle I've had in a while. Yeah.
Reel it back in, Mel.
It's the first bottle I've had in a while, and that I'm getting leather and cherry. I know it's standard Woodford. It's not any kind of single barrel. It's not any kind of master select, anything like that at all. I don't know if it's because I've laid off the Woodford for a little while, and gone back to an absolutely fresh bottle. But as I said, I really enjoyed it last night.
Yeah.
The water with it.
And I'm revisiting the other night, and I'm still getting the same notes. Your standard oaks, your standard caramels, your standard vanillas, all that good stuff. But leather, cherries, and a hint of citrus.
See, I never get
It's
cherry, and
not
cherry is
very
my
often I get
favorite.
that.
It's my favorite flavor.
Not very often I get it from the Woodford, and I'm getting it in this bottle in particular for some strange reason. I don't know why, and I'm really enjoying it.
Have you had the malt? The Woodford
I have
malt?
not had the malt. No, I haven't.
Oh
No.
my gosh. I picked up the malt and the wheat version of their standard bourbon. I was at the
I've
Woodford
had a sample.
Distillery.
I've tried the wheated. It was nice, but
Yeah. But you get a lot of that in the malt one. It feels it's real fruity on the front, but then all that buttery caramel, all that stuff on the back end is so good.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say is I'm a little surprised that you could put down about half a bottle of that last night and want to go back to the same thing today, because I put some hurting on my Long Branch last night, and I was looking at the bottle today, which I left up here, and I was like, no, I got to change it up. I got to do something different.
Dude, that's happened numerous times with me, like
through pure enjoyment, dude.
Yeah.
No,
I would say
that's just an observation. That's all.
I didn't wake up this morning and think I really have to have another one of those. I left it.
That's what we call turning the corner.
I waited until after breakfast, Billy.
Not in a good way.
Remember, it goes at 12:01. It's evening. Remember, we'd already discussed that. But hey, listen, let's reel it back in, because we've had some shenanigans as always, and we broke our vow with cursing like in the first 5 seconds of the show tonight.
Who did that?
That was me. It was me. That's because I don't know another word for dumbfuckery when I deal with someone who exhibits dumbfuckery behavior. I mean, I can go to dipshittery, but it's still a curse word.
Well, is there any such thing as keeping with the theme of the show? Is there any such thing as smart fuckery? Or
no, not with that person.
No, then why not just call it fuckery?
Okay, guys, hold on a second. Let me call it FCC. Let me call it FCC and make sure we can get that put into the video, because we're dropping a lot of F-bombs here. Let me call.
All right, so
blowing minds with
there's no one to ask what I'm drinking. I am sipping Navigator tonight.
There we go.
That's not true. We started with Mark.
Nope.
No, we didn't.
Oh,
Nope.
okay. I apologize.
Before the show, he told us.
In my San Francisco time in February.
Well, I apologize, Marky.
That's all right. I got you. I just had to wait for it. That's all good. Pretty good. I've been having a very difficult time trying to get intel on this. It's Kentucky bourbon from a wine cellar in California. I don't know, but I like it. It's pretty good.
There you go.
I've talked notes on it before, so I'm not going there. And this bottle,
cellar or cellar?
Cellar.
Like with a C or an S?
Actually, both. It's actually both, to be honest.
Breckenridge.
Yeah. Now this one, I totally forgot I had, and I pulled it out and actually had to wipe dust off of it twice. There was so much dust on it.
You say pull out? I didn't hear you. What was that?
Yeah, I pulled out.
Oh, okay.
Not very often. But yeah, the bourbon here from Colorado.
I walked into that one. Sorry.
My brother Jack.
Nice.
Get it out.
Breckenridge is a nice. It's a nice whiskey.
I don't remember it. So I'm gonna pour. I can't get to my second pour because I'm on my third pour of Navigator. So I'm gonna get there eventually, but this will be my fourth pour whenever I get there.
Nice. All right. So to reel it back in, have I any alibis out there that I missed? Okay, good.
No alibis, but I do want to say the wife is back home. She's a champion.
That was my next question.
A fighter. Yesterday we had the marketplace, and despite being a little under the weather, she did quite well. We completely sold out. And my wife, I tell you, I'm glad I work for her and I'm not a customer. A guy walked up and wanted to buy some sides, and my wife was like, "No, you got to buy a whole meal." And she got the money.
I love it.
Yeah. So she'll make an
No
appearance. in the
suds for
after
you.
show.
What kind of communist comes up to a
Yeah.
barbecue stand and goes,
I want
Just
some
want
sides.
I want sides? Like,
Oh,
You
I
know,
I can
you're-
totally be in her. I would fully support her being completely the soup Nazi, and like just completely just ass slapping the fuck out of him, because he just said something that was stupid. Like, who does that?
So
I'm
listen.
I made a gross generalization. It may have been a female, but either way, that person needs to be beat senseless.
Well, and listen, I get this sense that the wife was on the verge of beating this guy, but it was so funny because I'm over here doing my thing and I can hear her over my shoulder. And she's very direct. Like, the guy didn't have a choice. Like, she was gonna go take the money out of his pocket. And the second, if he didn't cough it up, I was like, Jesus Christ. I'm glad I'm over here.
Oh man, that's
Bring the size, fool.
Yeah.
so. Anyway, so back to our subject tonight, because I believe that it's an interesting concept. I think definitely in the bourbon world, we see a lot of the labeling and marketing that goes out, and the vast majority of it, as we discussed in a previous show, is nothing more than puffery. However, Pleonasm, that is something that occurs quite frequently in the bourbon world. Like we were talking about earlier, all bourbons are whiskeys, but not all whiskeys are bourbons. So there's no reason to overemphasize it unless it's just strictly a marketing ploy, which would be puffery, like David had pointed out, and said, hey, look, I want to make sure that most people, they don't know if they like bourbon. They may think they just like whiskey, and they're like, look, it's the best of both worlds. I want it. Yay. And so they get that. So have you guys seen any other ones other than the most obvious one that I picked up?
In the bourbon world, or just period?
Period.
Yeah, we use one in the military all the time. Military, we say CAC card.
That's true.
What is this?
Or an ATM card.
Yeah, we call it a CAC. It's our ID. We call it a CAC card. Common access card.
Yeah. Or an ATM isn't, they say, hey, you know where I can find an ATM machine? Or you want twins? I don't understand. Yeah. So yeah, I'm with you on that. So yeah, CAC card. That's funny that you, David, was like, "What's that again?" There's plenty of militarisms. We could do a whole show on militarisms.
There's one used quite a lot in the UK, but a lot of people don't realize. And it's a lot of the rivers in the UK
Okay.
are the different names. So I'm not sure about the Thames, but specifically the one that runs by me for Newcastle is called the Tyne, and it's an old Roman word for river.
So it's the Tyne River. So it's the river.
River.
the river Tyne, the river Tyne, the river Wear, the river Ouse. But yeah, it's
Just in case you didn't get it the
lot of
first
them.
time, I guess.
Yeah,
Wow.
there are a lot of them in the UK that are old speak, whatever, inflection, the name for, or the translation is river. So there's probably 60% of the rivers in the UK are actually technically called river.
It's funny.
That's great.
So, and that'd be funny on an English to English, I guess, translation on like MapQuest. Turn right at the river. Turn right at the river. Anyway, but the other one is Klekai. If most of you guys know, I have Klekai dogs, and they have their own Instagram handle, which is Little Chief Murphy on Instagram. It's little, like
Lil Wayne.
Like Lil Wayne.
So anyway, but they're Klekais. Klekai means in the, I guess, the native tongue of the Eskimos up in it means little dog. So you're calling it a Klekai dog. So a little dog.
Yeah.
So you have that one.
There's one.
Well, Triple
one
H
that
would be one, wouldn't it? No, it's playing.
There's one that crops up every now and again with, and I hate doing this, American English.
Oh, we don't say anything screwed up.
Oh yeah,
Just
yeah.
say talk American.
Horseback riding.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
You just go on horseback.
Where else? Where else? Well, we say horse riding.
Okay.
what other part of the horse are you
Where
gonna
else are you going to sit on? Where else are you going to sit on the horse?
David?
ride?
David?
Don't look at me like that.
David? Hey, I'm a kid, grew up in the 80s. There was a movie, but never mind.
There was a few, Mark. There was a few.
You know, we ought to do a show. We ought to do a
That may be
show
long
on
before
80s
David's time
movies.
too, Mark.
We ought to do a show on 80s movies.
Yeah, that'd be
Like-
good. I would like
Because
that.
like I was watching Mojo earlier today, and they were talking about the greatest music and in movies, and one of them was Back to the Future, the original one, and it was Huey Lewis and the News, and I didn't even realize. I mean, I realized it, but I didn't realize it. Like I forgot about it, I guess is what I should say. That Huey Lewis was the.
Sorry, guys, you're just too damn loud.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, from when they were doing their tryout for the band competition or whatever it was.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's Battle of the Bands with the
Battle of
glasses
the
on.
Bands.
That's Huey Lewis.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he stands up all proper, and he's like, and you hear him talking into the megaphone, and you can't hear it over it, and he's like,
Like a plaid
excuse
jacket.
me.
His hair
Oh,
slicked
damn,
down.
I have to go
He's
back
got
and
a plaid
watch that
jacket on
now.
and thick glasses.
Yeah, he looked like
Got his cameo in there.
yeah,
That's
that
great.
was his cameo, and that song actually goes perfect with that movie. So that would be the great one. 80s.
What 80s movies do you know by their soundtrack more than the actors in them or some other things like
yeah.
that? Like what soundtracks from the 80s
Mhm.
made the movie more memorable than the actual
And then we could
movie?
also do another one too, is 80s movies that was redone.
Footloose.
That was redone and
Top Gun.
Yeah, stop
Oh
that.
yeah, Top Gun. Good one.
Yeah.
That's
That's
Oh,
definitely another one.
You can't
new
say
one's coming
Danger
out
Zone
soon.
and then not have anybody know what you're talking about, right?
Oh, Kenny Loggins, man.
Yeah.
Everyone will
Well,
say
that's
Archer
also
now.
Footloose too.
No. So mine is the Family Jewels. With science. Family Jewels.
Weird Science was a good movie though.
Oh, Kelly LeBrock. Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you know, that brings up another object we could talk about. Too. Well, I shouldn't say object. That's probably the wrong. We'll have the women's hating groups that'll be out after us. But along with everybody else, like I said, we're like the EOC. We pick on everybody equally. But like what's her name? Bobby Brown, that was in Cherry Pie video for Warrant back in the day.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like she couldn't have been more hot back in the day. Google her today.
I'm scared.
You were
No,
talking, you were talking, you were talking about
Billy.
Like, I'm scared.
You were
Does he look
talking
like
about
Bobby
Top
Brown,
Gun.
the singer?
No, also Google that one.
He's a dude.
You were talking about
Oh,
Top
yeah.
Gun before. You were talking about Top Gun before
Mm.
Kelly McGillis.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh. Yeah.
but you know she's actually fact check me if you want to. Their YouTube and also Facebook, but I think she's a sexual assault victim, and she did not play any of the sex scenes in there. They actually had a body double for her.
Oh,
Really?
wow, I didn't know.
Mm.
Okay, hold on. So, guys, pause for a minute. Okay,
Kevin
ladies,
McGinnis.
as I talked about with some of you ladies last week, we do normally have ladies on the show.
Mhm.
It's just an advisory. Okay, we can continue now. We're good. We don't want to get too far off, but you go, guys.
No, I would love to have women on the
Good
show,
looking out,
and,
Mark.
we've had them on the show before, and we definitely encourage the female perspective. There's just several variables that you need to come with. One, like first of all, Annie, the original Annie, fan freaking
Conrad.
tastic. Like
Oh, yeah,
she's like the goddess instead of godfather or godmother, maybe, I don't know, of bourbon. She really knows a lot of
Not Justine
Yeah.
Bateman.
that's one too. But anyway, back to Annie. She knows a ton about bourbon, and to listen to her talk about notes and what she picks up from tasting and what she finds within a drink is actually absolutely fascinating to listen to. And she has a lot of connections too here in the Middle Tennessee area, even though she lives in Minnesota. Second Annie was, which is strange. We've had two Annies, and then we've also had I forgot the other girl's name that came on with Daryl, my friend Daryl, but she was from Milwaukee.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But anyway, the other
Well,
Annie,
since Daryl's been on.
Well, he launched a new business, and he's always been into entrepreneurship, and he is. It's you guys. I need to probably brag about it in the VIP chat, and if you're not a member of the VIP chat, you want to be, but do that.
Hold on. So what's Daryl? Did we ever figure out which Daryl he was? Was he Daryl or was he cousin Daryl?
Out of here.
No, it's my brother, Daryl.
Brother Daryl. Okay, I don't know if we ever clarify which Daryl.
Brother Daryl.
Oh.
But anyway, he brought a young lady on, and I forgot her name. I think it was Kelly, but I could be wrong. She was from Milwaukee. He used to work with her back in the day when he lived up in Milwaukee. He lives in Tampa Bay now. And then the other Annie, fantastic on the show, and we hope that she comes back on the show again. She does watch. I like the fact that she was genuinely interested in asking the tough questions about bourbon. And about the different tasting notes and stuff like that. And she was, you could go back and watch some of the shows she was on. She was taking notes the entire time. Her schedule doesn't always work out with our schedule. And that's the reason why she hasn't joined as often or as frequently. But any women out there want to join the show, please join the show. The only thing we ask is like back in our infancy, don't be those women.
All equally good or just as good as us, if not better, with the shenanigans.
What you got?
Yes.
I had a master list.
I have some of that because Mark sent it to me.
What's that, Chuck? I didn't get to see that. What is it?
Angostura 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Have some of that right.
Yeah, Joey wasn't crazy about it, but yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
That's
I was not crazy about it. And it's because it tastes, I like it. And I've told you that too. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
I see it more as a mixer than as a straight up rum, which I do like. I prefer to drink my rum straight up. It's really young compared to many of the rums that I prefer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Who mentioned on the chat the Addictivo tequila?
Addictivo, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Chuck, you got a ball, and I agree that I said it was.
Oh my
awesome.
goodness.
I haven't had it for a long time, but I think it was Chuck that picked the bottle up here.
That's good stuff.
That's
Sip on that
awesome.
for a day. Yep.
I'm hungry.
I picked up some good selections from the show. It was two shows ago, I think. You guys are going through like go to bourbons and then the ones to leave alone. I forget what we called it exactly on that show, but oh man, there's a couple really good ones on there. I can't wait to pick up a few.
Well, go ahead.
I kind of got a question for the group. When you guys are going to a bottle that you haven't had before, do you have a checklist in mind that the bottle has to meet before you decide to go to it? Like price, if you had an opinion on it. I mean, hell, even the way it looks. Does something have to? Does certain bottles have to be checked off?
The color of the whiskey. For me, the color of the whiskey, I'm kind of drawn to the darker liquids.
Okay. I would say that prior to this group and our ability to try different things from all over, I would say that yes, I had a checklist of things that I wanted. Now it's not like young whiskeys for sure. Anything under 4 years, I didn't want. Now I'm trying to enjoy them more, and I actually find that there are several that I'd actually like that are under the age of 4. All right. It's also the bottling, like Ode Carter, for example. I'm not knocking Ode Carter because that's some fantastic bourbon. That's horrible bottling. All right. It looks almost as bad as Kentucky Par, which takes us back to Kentucky Par, which is horrible price point and horrible bottle presentation. But
Will it pot still?
Which is fantastic bottling, marketing, horrible substance.
It's like I got all y'all.
So let me ask Rob.
Be mad.
You guys are, and Rob being the chef, your tastes are a little bit more, up there. What do you look for? What boxes have to be checked off when you go to something that you haven't had? Of course, like for instance, I love the Statesman. So now when I see it, I'm going to just buy it. But something new, Rob, that you never had, what boxes do you have to check off before you grab it?
So the things like I would think I would have to have read about it or at least seen it, somebody talking about it, and some positive feedback from it happening before I'm gonna, especially if it's a bottle that I'm gonna drop, $50 on, right? I'm definitely gonna want to at least read something on it and go, okay, I see in those notes that there's something that there could be something I like there. Color, definitely. I was actually at my bourbon bar there back in Ohio, and they let me sample Rogue's whiskey. The guys who make that, they make the Rogue Dead Guy Ale.
Mm-hmm.
They make a whiskey that is just awful. They were laughing about it. They're like, "Oh, we want to see your reaction when you drink this." I would. It's nothing I would have drank. It looked like vodka in the glass. It was so. It was
wow.
so light.
It's like Fossil Creek, isn't it?
So they give it to you so that you can chase it with a nice Rogue beer. So it's to help sell the beer.
Yeah,
Like the Fossil
chase
Creek,
it.
I wanted to chase that with like the actual substance that Nightcrawlers comes in, like that.
Those will get me shot.
Guarantee.
I see about I like Rogue ales, but yeah.
Okay.
Sitting
I'm
there
gonna stay
like,
away from there. Okay.
So for Rob, what else for you has to be checked off? Color, some kind of research or feedback on it. Anything else?
No, I'm pretty open to trying a lot of things.
Okay.
And I'm kind of venturing out now into the American whiskeys. Technically Stranahan is an American whiskey. It's not a bourbon. At least the two that I've got are not bourbons. There's
that came through recommendation through JF though, didn't it?
Nice.
Through Jack.
Jack Cross.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Chuck?
Well, I'm going to go with color first.
Mhm.
Depending upon the color, I do my research. I do look at reviews, and then I'll make my decision there. However, if the price point exceeds, say, $60 to $75 at the most, I'd rather it stay at 50. But then at 50, I'll start doing more research.
Yeah.
But I will, basically, if it's something that's very, and then also one other thing I will look at is the secondary market.
Okay.
I'll keep my eyes on the secondary market, see what's hot. And if it's something that's really moving, then I may pick it up to try it.
It's funny you bring up the secondary market because I used to do that. What you're talking about, I used to watch on the secondary market, and I was like, maybe I need to try that because it seems to be people have shown interest towards it. I've actually, after the big hype over the flavored nonsense, like the honeys and
Bellmead Honey.
yeah,
Bellmead Honey.
And the vanillas
and stuff like that, and the peach and the pears and all that, I was like, are you serious? You guys this is what's buying? I kind of tuned them out and I found select people. And for me, we all have very distinct type of profiles here, but I would say on this page of people who normally are on the show, me and Chuck have the closest profiles of taste profiles, where I find that I like if he says he likes something, Chuck does, I'm going to try it and I know I'm going to like it.
Right.
And Billy is probably close in there as well, but he's also a Scotch guy. I'm not. So that kind of burns that bridge a little bit. Where Mark and Rob, which I envy both of you guys in some aspects, because when it comes to bourbon, I do want to try things, but I also don't want to go as they bring it to me, go, oh my God, what the hell? Now I got to drink all of that.
But you don't, and we know this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's real bad because I've been at your house and you're like, do you want the rest of that? Because he doesn't want to quite pour it out, and he knows that
But I will. But I will.
Like I'll just
Listen, that's why I love to hear Rob talk about stuff, because Rob will give it to you 100% raw. Like he'll tell the maker to his face, listen, don't quit your day job. Go do something else.
Like, did you give up on the fireman position? Because I think you should still do that.
All right, Mark, tell us, what do you look for, Mark, when you go to buy something, obviously, that you haven't had? Give us kind of a rundown of boxes that kind of have to be checked off.
Honestly, I'm a little bit in line with what Jody said. If I see something, the first thing I'll do is I reach out to my guys, and that's you all. There's one or two here locally. I'm gonna have to try to get Dave on here with us one day. But there's one or two guys here that if they tell me they like it, I'll trust it. But in general, if you guys don't, again, you've seen me in the stores now, I'll put in there any intel. And for the most part, if most of you guys say you like it or you've had it, or even if you've heard good things, I'll try it. I typically won't, as we talked about last week or the week or the show before that, I probably won't experiment anymore in bottles over 50. I've done it.
I got burned on that, so I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, I have too. I've gotten a couple of 60 and plus bottles. I'm like, what the
129.
Oh yeah.
And David has it now.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, I don't really look at the bottles per se. If it's certain distilleries, I'll try blind. If it's something coming from Four Roses, if it's coming from Lux, I'll try those two blind.
That's it. That's what I was gonna say. Is I'll look at if there's certain distillers, that maybe have something new that's coming out, like this Davies County is a Lux Row product, and I've had a lot of luck with Lux Row.
I'll try it.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
Yeah.
But I also have a guy that one of my suppliers, the stores, he recommends a lot of things, and he recommended that Stellum.
Okay.
And I was extremely hesitant because it was a barrel product, and their products are extremely expensive for basically experiments is all I believe they are. Like, for example, the newest one is Seagrass.
Yeah.
Come on, Seagrass.
There's something about that statement. Something about that statement that really makes me want to try it.
Exactly. And it ranges from $78 up to $99 for that one.
Yeah.
And that's, a lot of money for any of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
What about you, David? You have your particular taste.
Yeah,
something you've never had. What's some boxes that have to be checked off for you?
Really, for me, and it's anymore, it's hard to say because it becomes an intel thing. Like if it's under $40 and the bottle looks attractive and I'm feeling, adventurous, I might give it a whirl. And maybe you make a mistake, maybe you end up with something that surprises you, but if it's more than $40, like I want some information because I know where to get it now. Like pretty much any of y'all guys, like y'all have your own particular palates and preferences and things like that. If I hear something good from any of you, honestly, I'm probably going to like it too, because unlike, and it's not negative towards anyone, but I tend to embrace a larger view of the force when it comes to drinking spirits.
Wait a minute, that was directed at me because
that was directed exactly at you. It was. It was based on a Facebook comment. But yeah, so so if if it's a rum, say like Mark, I might be more like looking towards your input on it because I know you're really a rum guy. If it's a Scotch, I'm looking more at Billy. Obviously a lot of big bourbon fans here, like things like that, and even different variations within that. If any of y'all like it, I'm probably going to like it too, well enough at least to try the bottle one time. Other than that, I'll look at reviews online. I won't go to Facebook groups because there's always some negative asshole who's.
Oh yeah, because you would think Blanton's was the worst thing in the world.
You're a tater. Like anyone's, hey guys, I just picked this up. What do y'all think? And there's like 18 laugh reacts and people being jerks. I'm like, I don't need his negativity because half them probably wrong anyway. Like I don't trust those kinds of opinions. So that's really where I'm at.
It's White Mark came up with a good idea for a bourbon that kind of like a seagrass. I think what you said, Chuck.
Yeah.
He was like, go ahead.
new distillery nobody's ever heard of. They got a 9-month product out there. It's called Afterbirth. Try it.
Oh.
Hey, look, I
Billy.
promise you, if some of us put that in
On
somebody's
the bottle, you
someone
slap it
will
on the
try it.
bottle. You make it.
Someone will
You
try
make it
it.
look sexy.
If it-
It's gonna sell.
If it's,
The
if it's
umbilical
under fi- if
collection.
it's-
And you know,
If it's
David,
under-
Wow. Yes.
it's funny
If
you,
it's under,
you
if
say
it's
that
under
about the,
$50 and the bottles, if it's under
it's funny
$50
you say
and
that
the
about
bottle's
the
nice,
groups, David.
sign me up.
All right,
Um,
let's- Rob's
even-
gone.
It's funny you say that, David, about the groups, because you know everybody knows I'm a big Jeep fan, and
Uh-huh.
even in that world, people like, oh, you bought a Gladiator, oh, it's not a real Jeep, or you know, and everybody has. this
It's on a
opinion.
Jeep platform.
It's a Jeep, but you
I know
know,
it's on a Jeep platform. The only thing different about it is they took the Rubicon and they took out the extended back row and they added about 6 inches of length.
that's the only difference.
That's the
between
only
them.
difference.
It's a
between
6-inch difference. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
So,
you know,
but
how-
real quick,
Interesting.
if you're with a woman, 6 inches does matter.
yeah. Listen,
that
but it's
aimed at
like
me?
David said, it's
That's
funny.
why I don't get
because
women on the show.
in the Jeep group, on the Jeep pages, people be like,
Depends on the woman.
oh, you did that, or you got that, and it's like,
Right.
you know, so you get that
It's that
same thing. So
Judgy smartassery that
Yeah,
that people
exactly.
engage in. I don't got any time
I
for
like
it.
the
You got a
ERY
Jeep,
on the
whatever.
end of words
You're
in
happy with it.
general.
Who the hell
I thought
cares
they
what
are.
anyone else
Hey,
says?
Jody,
exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
just remember, see that hand? Look
Right.
at the size of that thing.
That's big handery right
There you
there.
go.
Big handery.
Oh, also, I
So-
forgot to give a little nod.
And look
to
at the
Mal.
size of this
He's-
little
he's a
glass
Scotch guy
compared
too.
to that.
I looked at Mal for recommendations on Scotch as well.
Yeah. So Mel, speaking of which, tell
Okay.
us before we get ready to check out, what are some things you look for before you try something new?
Hmm.
I mean, obviously you have an extensive collection like most of us. So for
Well,
you, what's
yeah.
something that has to be checked off?
I do, to be honest with you. But the thing is, I'm in the UK, so we are behind the curve as far as the UK, as far as the US goes. So
Oh,
basically,
Oh, nice.
what's new to you is new to you. It will not hit the UK for some time. So what's new to us is probably old to you guys. Reviews, I don't take any notice of at all, because as we keep on saying in this group, taste is subjective.
You're right.
Taste is absolutely subjective. Something I hate, something else, you know, one man's
Anything.
rubbish is another man's gold, if you like. But
Yeah.
our profiles, our palettes, if you like, in this group are quite similar on particular levels. You know,
Not on the Jack Daniels level.
yeah, I was waiting for you to pipe up on that, but there's a lot of similarities in palettes with ourselves. Yeah, I mean, we've got this group and other groups, but closed groups. So the reason I left the likes of, well, I'm not going to name them, but there are certain groups that I was a member of that I've since left because of, as you say, the dumb fuckery, which I cannot be fucking arsed with at all. What I look for in something new is color, primarily, distillery, secondary, bottle design, because I'm a sucker. I do love a pretty bottle, but
It's like plastic boobs.
yeah, mhm, big lips and fake hair.
No, I don't get into all
Please
that.
join the show, ladies.
Yeah.
I'm talking about me.
We love it when women
I'm
participate.
I'm talking about me. Yeah, that's about it, really. I mean, it's a good color to it. Good color to it, and particular distilleries. To be honest with you,
All right.
Okay.
All right. So let's do this.
The UK is usually behind the US in this kind of thing. So you guys have usually had what's new to me over here.
All right. Well, before we put
I
Jody's
listen to you guys.
Jody's gonna say something real quick. White Mark, come on, give us a quick rundown.
I was just mentioned to him real quick. He muted it, but
Well, I muted because we were just talking amongst
Yeah.
ourselves.
but proof is something like, so I mentioned, I think on the last show I was on, when we were talking about flavored bourbons, typically the proof has been taken way down because they've added so much to the barrel or the, the bourbon.
Distilling process.
Yeah, it's
Distillation process.
it's made it into, syrupy, sweet, something or other.
Liqueur.
Yeah, so I like, I think
No.
that was one thing that when we were here with you, Jody, just a few weeks ago, we were going through a couple bourbons and we were going up in proof as we tasted each one. And the higher proof bourbons, it feels like there's a little more sophistication to it. Yeah, complexity. So
David.
for me, anything below like 90, I haven't gone there. Like I just go, I don't
See, I
know
say that
that'll-
and like,
it'll taste like sweet tea. I
Well,
don't want that.
I got some Basil Hayden tenure upstairs that's 80 proof
They're all at
because they're all 80. But I will tell you what I like best about it is the tobacco aftertaste. I as many of you guys know, I chewed tobacco for 30 years or so, and I love that taste of tobacco, and that finishing note is pleasant to me, to where that was a gift from Corey, who was supposed to be here tonight, but he sent us a thing and he was terribly upset that he missed his steak production and stuff of that nature. But I do like some, see, for me, it's about profile more, complexities. I like the differences. Like everybody will talk about in the show with this, everybody will talk about Stag. Stag, it's this, that, and whatever. Don't get me wrong, Stag is all that in a box of chocolate. All right. You can picture that with Forrest Gump and that little African-American lady or Black lady, whatever demographic you want to give her, sitting next to him and like a box of chocolates. Well, that's the same with Stag. If you truly love Stag and you love that profile, 19 is no different than any other one, unless you're trying to get drunk, because the profile on it is just as complex. And that's what I find fascinating about it. So hopefully everybody—
They are comfortable shoes.
Yeah, they are. So guys, life is like a box of chocolate. And this has been a fun evening that turned out from nonsense from a stupid email that we talked about in the real world of bourbon. Oh, and we're finishing off the show. I'm sorry, Chuck, I'm letting him try some of the old Carter 13.
Oh, nice.
We're actually finishing it off, and we're having a glass together.
Cheers.
And this is what we're going to have to close the show. So guys,
Gentlemen,
everybody that's watching it, be good to yourself.
good to yourselves.
Yep.
Hold on, Billy didn't say it.
Be good to yourselves,
Doesn't
gentlemen.
count till he says it. There you go.
Well, you know
Yes,
what?
we gotta call legal and see if anybody else is licensed to say it.
There you go.
Well, that's bullshit. Good night.